Gary, Plant-Based San Francisco, accessible sprouting for the blind and all.
Welcome to Accessible Sprouting for the Blind. It's my pleasure to introduce Gary Ginsler. Gary works as a blind rehabilitation specialist at the VA in Palo Alto, and he is current treasurer of CAOMS. Yay! He also hosts a YouTube channel for plant-based eating. Gary is a CAOMS and a trained guide dog mobility instructor. Did you know dogs do best on a plant-based diet too? All right, Gary, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you for being here, and thank you for learning about sprouting. Our objectives for today are the health benefits of sprouting, the materials and tools you might need to get started on sprouting, what to think about when you're starting to get your own seeds and beans to sprout, and then key modifications for the blind and visually impaired. Pardon me while I get my reading glasses. Okay, so the main thing about sprouts is that you can have healthy produce in your kitchen in just 5 or 6 days. Sprouts are the most nutritious, most nutritionally dense foods on the planet. Whole seeds and beans can be sprouted. And just a note about that, I'll say this again later, but it's important to know, you want to get seeds that are designed for sprouting. You don't want to get seeds that are going to go in your garden because they're a different standard and different safety concerns. Seeds for sprouting, generally organic seeds, are going to give you very few problems overall. Whereas if you try to use just garden seeds, you're going to have all kinds of problems. So that's it. That's an important note. Yeah, Jay. Um, you can try sprouting them if they're whole and intact and they're not too old. Some of those beans in the bin might have been in that bin a long time. So you just want to think about freshness. But quite honestly, seeds can be dormant for years and years and years, and you put them in water and boom, they're magic. So thank you, Jay. So broccoli sprouts have more sulforaphane than most foods at all. And sulforaphane has amazing anti-cancer benefits. They have low caloric density, which is great for weight loss. And sprouts are vegetables. They're not just a topping for things. They're a whole vegetable unto their own selves. Wonderful resources if you live in a food desert in order to get your nutrition. So if you don't have access to fresh produce, you can, in a week, have your own produce right on your countertop. They're low in sugar and high in soluble fiber. All right.
Gary, so where do you recommend that we buy them then?
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So materials and tools. The best way to get started with sprouting is to get yourself some 32-ounce largemouth mason jars, like you see on my table and in this picture. And in this picture, we've got one of my favorite stand setups where we've got a mesh lid. For my audience here, I've got.
How are they going to see this?
I don't think they can. Can they see in? You could use cheesecloth, but over a couple of uses, the cheesecloth is going to start to get dirty and probably attract things that you don't want to attract. So the nice thing about the plastic and the stainless steel is you can sanitize them in between uses. Okay.
Yeehaw.
All right. So the other thing is that you're probably just gonna want a nice measuring spoon, like that has this one's nice and long so you can get into bags and stuff. But this is a tablespoon. And so for small seeds, you're probably gonna do 2 or 3 tablespoons. And then this is a quarter cup. So for big seeds, these big seeds, you could do a quarter or 2 for a half. Um, with the nice stainless steel. I can't say nice things about stainless steel, but I want to just share a contrast for the blind. So if you've got this nice 1 cup dry measuring cup, for water, it's not great because if you're blind and you try to fill this, you're gonna overflow it and top off. But this is a nice Pyrex 1 cup measuring cup for liquids. And if you put your finger in here, you can fill in the water until you get to your finger, and so you will not overfill the the fill. And you just generally want just about a cup of water each when we're dealing with um, the first night, and then each day after that, 1 cup of water is good. You don't have to fill it all the way up. Some videos show you filling it all the way up. It's really not necessary. Just 1 cup of water will cover the seeds and refresh everything. And so um, uh, okay, so other materials, these are a little more advanced, but these are trays. And so these are slotted trays, and they come 2 slotted trays and a bottom catch tray and a top. So these are nice because you can take your tray over to your water, pour some water over this, let it drain off, and then put it back in the stack. And these mesh screens are a little finer, so um like even like I had a lot of trouble. My arugula seeds and chia seeds will not work in a bottle because they'll just become a glutinous mess. They just become like their power is to gloop together, so that's not good for sprouting. But I did have good success putting arugula seeds and even hemp seeds into these stacked, and I like these so much that I bought a second stack so I can go 4 high like an apartment tenement. These are from Amazon, and I show them on a separate another slide. So um um but these are nice if you don't have enough space for like a whole tray. Like this is just a kitchen tray, like you could use for other crafts or other things like that, or cafeteria style stuff. But I can easily fit 4 or 6 jars on this tray. And for a small family, for 1 or 2 people, you might have 2 or 3 jars going at a time. For a big family, you might have more jars going, or you might get into some more trays like this. What's nice about these trays too is that you can water them even with a mister a couple times a day, and then pull off some and harvest and let it go a little longer. For the jars, you're gonna want to harvest them from the jars after a certain amount of time. So the other thing I've got on this table, I've got fresh water today because there's no sink near here, and filtered water is best. So this is filtered water. This is just a salad sprinter that when it comes time to rinse, get the final rinse for the sprouts, you'll put them in the basket. And this one happens to be collapsible, but you'll put them in the spinner and get most of the water off of them, and then lay them on some paper towels. And then these are just some totes that have like some aeration in them that you can put some paper towel on the bottom of this and put your fresh sprouts in those and go into the refrigerator. But you could also go right to the freezer with the sprouts. So you can I didn't bring my super cubes, but you basically take like 1/2 cup servings or 1 cup servings of the sprouts and just put them in the freezer. And then if you're going to add them to like a soup or a chili, you you can just go right from the freezer. If you're gonna add them to a smoothie, boom.
Yeah.
You can go right from the freezer. So, you get 5 days with the fridge, or 5 or 8 days with the fridge once you've harvested them. But in the freezer, you've got a couple weeks to months to enjoy them. But if you eat sprouts a lot, you'll find that you'll go through your sprouts. So it's good to start every couple of days, start some more sprouts, because these were started on Wednesday, and then now these are just about ready to go. And these have gotten a little light, so they're a little greener. And then these ones were also started on Wednesday, and this 3-bean mix will the 3-bean mix actually was probably ready yesterday and could have been harvested. Yes.
3 beans and what were the 3 beans and what are the green sprouts?
Okay, so organic pea, lentil, and adzuki are the beans, and those are all really nice beans. You could just do lentils, but I saw this 3-bean mix, and I like adzuki beans, so this is a nice mix. The green ones we've got are broccoli sprouts, and they're amazing. But I also last night started these are radish sprouts, which have a lot of the same benefits as broccoli sprouts, but have some added benefits that are they're cruciferous vegetable. The radish is a cruciferous vegetable. Broccoli is a cruciferous vegetable. If you can find organic kale sprouts, those are cruciferous. And yes. So basically, you can think about you've got your materials. You've got some organic seeds on maybe Amazon, right? Maybe Amazon's the best place to find them right now. Especially because a lot of stores don't carry like broccoli sprouts. So you're just going to want to order some nice broccoli sprouts. But this bag is going to get you through a month probably, because if you're doing it a couple times a month, because if you put 2 or 3 tablespoons out of this bag, it'll get you going. Mung beans sprout really nice too. And I saw some beet sprouts, and so I'm gonna get started on doing some beets, but I haven't done them yet, so I didn't want to show them here today. But I'm excited about the beet sprouts actually, because they're super nice. All right, so basically this is so easy, anyone can do it. 5 days. All it takes, is 5 days. And day one, you got a clean, empty jar, right? Well, let's do day one right now. Everyone with me still? All right, so,
Here.
okay, so,
For the ride,
yeah,
full ride.
so, um,
Are we gonna get to eat any of this right now?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
I guess we could. I don't know. I hadn't planned on
He
it.
doesn't want to share.
We have lots of utensils.
We did all those-
Yeah, you got yeah, if you grab some
Let's
utensils,
try like one.
Yeah.
we can harvest them. Okay, so we'll harvest that'll be day 5, we'll harvest, okay? So we're gonna take our tablespoon. And I'm super stoked about these radish sprouts, so we're gonna rock some of these. So I'm gonna take one.
Take a picture for your Facebook, okay?
Okay.
Hang on a second,
Do they
hang on a
smell like
second.
radishes?
Let me move this over here and let me see if the sound isn't better if we put it like here maybe.
Okay, is that better? Is that better for sound? All right, so we got the radish sprouts.
Stand right here.
Stand me?
There's a stand right here.
Oh, there's the mic stand over there, I should say.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna put 1, 2, and almost 3. All right, so that takes care of that. Then we've got our 3-bean mix. So we're gonna take a 1/4 cup of this 3-bean mix, and it's just nice peas, lentils, and adzuki beans. If you had a bigger jar, you could go 1/2 cup. Even maybe with the tray, I would go 1/2 cup of the larger beans, like mung beans, things like that.
3 tablespoons equals 1/4 cup.
4 tablespoons, I think, is a 1/4 cup, Jay, if I'm remembering correctly. But if you put too many seeds, you're going to overcrowd the jar. If you put not enough seeds, your jar will be kind of empty. You'll get the feel of it, right? So then I just got this water tank. It holds the whole gallon. And we're just gonna fill up our measuring cup. Good.
So how,
1 cup, right?
Yep, 1 cup.
so it's always 1 cup, no matter how many sprouts you have in there?
Yeah,
Because on the one you put 3 tablespoons, right? And on the other one you put like.
they're larger, so I just put
Oh, okay.
I just put a 1/4 cup. They're just larger beans. So, but what you're gonna see is, here, we'll do the beans first. We're gonna put that in the beans. We're gonna put that in our radish sprouts. And then we're gonna put a lid on here. I might label them, or like with large tape, or like you can see here, these are high contrast labeled for the radishes. And they'll help me start knowing that, because I'm doing 2 radishes, so the ones that have the label on, I'll know that I started before the ones that don't have the label on. You can put rubber bands on your green ones, so you know that the greens are in the jars that have the rubber bands, and the beans are in the jars that don't have the rubber bands. So you can just tactically mark. I made some cool little plexiglass different shapes that you could distinguish what your sprouts are. And I looked for them this morning, I couldn't find them, but they're on little rubber bands, and you put them around the jars, whatever. So this is day 0 or day 1. You put these in, outside of direct light. They don't have to be totally dark. Some people say total darkness, some people say it doesn't matter, but indirect light is probably best for those ones. And then for the next couple days, keep them in indirect light. So now these are the ones, which is nice because it's a 1-to-1. These are the ones that soaked overnight. So they've gotten a little bit bigger. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but so the overnight ones have gotten bigger. They've absorbed the water, and so I put solid lids on these because they were being transported in the car. But generally, these would have had
Yes.
my apartment is tiny and I have way too much stuff, so I need to reorganize so I can better find my stuff. I had to go digging to find all this stuff for this presentation. The,
Are the crack lids that you're putting on right now the same as the green ones to your left?
these green ones are slotted.
Oh, so the slotted ones are for overnight and then you.
No. They are interchangeable. These have a nice dip so that when you fill the water, it'll fill into the dip or whatever, so you don't have to take the lids off. These slotted ones, you have to pour slowly, or you just take the lid off and then put more water in. We'll see that in a second. So, it's just, there's a bunch of different kinds of these kind of lids. I don't even know if I can find these ones anymore, but they have one similar to this that has a little kickstand that'll come out, which is really nice. I have it in the presentation. But you can take the slotted ones. All right. So these are the ones that have been sitting overnight. I'm gonna,
So it sounds like the important part is that there should be air coming in, right? So
Air.
if it's slotted or meshed, it has to be air, you can't just close them up, right?
yeah, air and water need to come out.
Right.
Basically the big part is getting the water out. And these that have their own kickstand allow that to happen. So I got a bucket here, but you could go into your sink. If you go into a bucket, all this water can go out in your garden. So I'm just gonna give it a good little hippie shake. And then we're gonna drain our radishes. This is so easy, anyone can do it. Just need water.
So you do that on day 2 or day 3?
After we've started them on day 1 is your start day, Emily. That's a great question. Day 1 is your start day. Then day 2 to day 5, essentially twice a day, you're gonna do this. You're gonna dump out the water. So day 1 or day 2, after I've woken up the next morning, I'm gonna dump out the water. I'm gonna give them some fresh water. And you'll see that this is the only day that we're gonna dump and then give fresh water. After this, every time we're gonna do fresh water, and we'll just pour these right in and see how we do.
But it doesn't matter if it's a full cup this time.
It really doesn't matter as long as they're all getting wet. I think I was a little light on my pour that time, Jay, you caught me, but that's all right. That's all right. It doesn't matter because, we're just wanting to get them all wet.
But you said a moment ago that this is the only day that you do fresh water.
No. This is the only day that we're gonna dump them and then pour more water. After this, they're gonna be like this. Hold on one second. So I'm gonna give them a good stir and get that water out now.
Basically, you're rinsing the beans.
You're rinsing them twice a day. If you really live somewhere really humid or whatever, you could rinse them a third time a day. Rinsing them is gonna help prevent them from growing any nasty stuff.
Right, so they only soak the first night and thereafter they just damp.
They soak the first night to kickstart their germination, right? So then these are gonna go inverted
For drainage.
like this. Any extra water is gonna drip out. You can put some paper towels down there to catch it. It's not gonna be a ton. All right. And then we're gonna. Did I give these guys fresh water? Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah. So then.
Full compliment. I want.
Thank you. We're doing like multiple days all at once here, so it's a lot to keep track of. Thank you so much, Jay. All right. So then these are gonna just sit just like this. And so before you go to bed, you're gonna put more water, a cup more water in each, slosh them around, drain them,
Rinse them.
just like this.
Rinse them, drain them twice a day.
This is how they're gonna live for 4 days.
Yeah.
It's easy. They just sit here on this stand. On your tray, you could have maybe 4 of these going easy. I could probably squeeze 2 more on this tray. We'll see that in a second if I wanted to. But so then you, when your jar is pretty full, and these have had some light the past couple days, so they got a nice color to them. These filled up pretty good too. They've got nice long tails. So, um, so, um, the the latte, I'm just gonna go a half cup of water here to give them a final rinse.
Last day is day 5.
Yeah, this is our last day. We're gonna harvest these next, okay? So we're such a small group. If anyone has questions, please just shout them out.
You don't have to invite me, Gary,
Yeah, I know, Jay, you're wonderful.
or obnoxious, one or the other.
Okay, so having a good little Pyrex measuring cup can do you kind of all day long, getting your water filled up. And if you put your thumb in here, you can know that you've got a whole cup, basically. So then we're gonna give these a good spin.
Those are looking beautiful. Okay.
So Gary, I assume that you're doing like a horizontal twist there because instead of like a martini glass shake situation to like protect them a little bit, is that,
No,
oh,
you
okay.
can do it like this. I mean, we're just trying to kind of spread them around.
But it doesn't need to be like a rigorous like shake, right?
No, just spread them around to get the water around them, and then we'll let them drain off.
It's an even way spread. Now I see that the ones in your hand with the azuki and the lentils and whatever, it's still got a lot of beans in them. So are you gonna have to cook those or can you eat them raw?
No, they're sprouted beans, so you can enjoy them just the way they are.
You can just eat them.
Yeah. All the stuff that you get out by cooking your beans, doing the sprouting does the same thing.
We need 3 spoons and the people online don't get any spoons. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Even
You
your.
should have come.
Or just go out and start sprouting your own, and you can have them in 5 days.
Right.
Right time. So then these are draining off. This is where we're gonna go to our salad spinner, and I'm gonna pop one of these open. And there are people who propose, like unbleached paper towels are probably a little better for this, but in reality, most of us all have white paper towels. It's hard to get unbleached paper towels, so we're just gonna roll with the white paper towels. All right, and then. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but these guys actually collected a lot of the water when I watered them and drained them. So there's a good amount of water on the tray, which I could in the summer, if you've got like flies in your apartment or whatever, you can take an unbleached coffee filter, rubber band that over the top of that, and that'll keep the flies out of your sprouts while they're doing their things. They won't, the little flies won't be able to get through the coffee filter. They could get through the mesh screen, but they won't get through your coffee filter. So I bought a big pack of unbleached coffee filters, and if I'm having a bad fly day in my apartment, I'll just put covers on all the sprouts so that the flies don't mess with them. Okay, so
Like, your flies are very nutritionally conscious as well.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna take all. You can try to get all of these like little chuffs, the little seed casings or whatever off. but there's really no need to. It's aesthetically, I guess you could, but we're just gonna spin this now. And the one I think I linked to on my slide has, really go back to the slides, but I'm just gonna spin this. I'm gonna spin this salad spinner.
Okay, so after
Yeah,
that.
I know. He has a YouTube channel.
Oh.
So
That's a lot of water.
yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna give you one more spin, because basically we want to get all the extra water off so that they can have a nice time in the refrigerator. If not. Okay.
Yeah, but I connected yesterday. Without yesterday, I was. But, I think the password was broken, exclamation mark. but-
Right. Yeah.
All right, so then.
Our words are on the screen.
Oh, he's back. Hi. Oh, my height didn't get on the screen. Oh.
So running water is kind of a helpful part for this part to get your sprout, your bowl. Shape them for our dog.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm looking at your YouTube channel, making carrot bombs.
oh, nice. Yeah, check out my YouTube channel. I don't have. Oh, but you gotta kill that sound. Yeah, sure enough. Okay. Okay, so it only took 5 days to grow this big tub of sprouts. So this is probably like a big tub like this would be like probably $8 or something like that at the store. All right.
So are the sprouts you buy in the bag expensive, or like, what is the cost comparison for that?
Seeds.
The couple tablespoons is probably less than $1. Even if the broccoli sprouts are more expensive with the market fluctuates or whatever, it's still less expensive than buying those clamshells of sprouts at the store that are small clamshells that are like $8 or $6 or whatever. And you don't know how long those ones have been in the store. These, have been on your counter for 5 days. 5 days fresh. It doesn't get fresher than this for produce, any produce. Even those greens might have been packed weeks ago, a month ago. And if you put this in as the base of your salad, it's more nutritious than if you put those greens from the store in your salad. And you don't have to single-use plastic or whatever, none of that. All the greens that we buy at the store have all that single-use plastic, which is not great for us or the planet. Oh, nice. Because I really didn't have a chance to wash out my spinner, I might have some broccoli sprouts in with the bean sprouts, but it doesn't hurt anything. If you don't like food touching each other on the plate, then that's everyone has their own little kinks. It's all right, but it's all right. So then nice. All right. So then um lentils are amazing, and Dr. Grader from nutritionfact.org says the best bean is the bean that you'll eat the most of. But if you start eating some beans, which are great, you get a little gassiness. Lentils are going to make you less gassy than other beans. So, and lentils have a special powerhouse in the bean family. So this is a nice little advertisement for lentils. I don't get any money from the lentil people, but I can't say any nice things about the lentils. But you can the azuki bean is a nice bean. The chickpea is a nice bean. You can sprout chickpeas. You can sprout some of the bigger whole beans, like the big red beans and the big navy beans and those big beans. I would steer away from those as you start sprouting because they're not going to sprout real well. So stick with the smaller beans. You'll probably be okay. So then these I might let sit out and air out a little bit, and then they'll just go in the fridge. Then these ones will be for overnight, and then these ones will get watered tonight, and then essentially they're on day 2, right? So so if you start some, wait 2 days, start some, wait 2 days, you'll kind of always have sprouts. If you have 2 jars going, it's nice. So then I might take a cup of these, a full cup of these, and a full cup of these, and throw them into the big smoothie pitcher that I make. So you could put a half cup of each into your smoothie probably, because you probably don't make as big a pitcher as I do. But these, you could put this in your soup. You could put these in a sandwich, put a whole big hunk of them in a sandwich. I think when you think about lentils as a garnish, you when you think about lentils as a garnish, you shouldn't think of them that way. You should think about it as a whole vegetable because you're getting a whole vegetable in the lentils. And if if you get some tiny little white fuzzy stuff growing on the stem, that's part of on the roots, that's part of their root filaments. It's not mold or fungus. But if you get a big overarching dome of white fuzzy stuff, that's no bueno. And you need to probably either chunk half of those or chunk all of them, or just give them a good rinse and see if you can get rid of it. In the jars, you really don't get it as much. In the trays, I've seen it a little bit more where I can, depending on how humid it is in the apartment, get some of that white mold. And so if you feel that mold, if you're blind and you feel that mold, or something smells a little funny, what Jay just made a little chucking gesture, and it's probably best just to chuck them out and start fresh. Rinse everything off, hot water, wash everything out, and then start again. If you got 6 jars, you could probably grow on a nice rotation. The only place that you might need some site assistance is, I think something's wrong with my sprouts. Can you check them for me? That's all. Ira or Be My Eyes, you could ask them to take a look. Oh yeah, it looks like there's something weird growing on your sprouts. You probably want to avoid those or whatever. So, but with the jars, it really doesn't happen that often. On the trays, I've seen more of it. So, just gotta be careful. Can we go back to the slide just for a second?
Gary,
Yeah.
I know,
Beans have a little more protein, but you don't, that whole perfect amino acid from the 70s, that it's a myth. Sprouts are complete in their entirety. You don't need to add anything to them. You could add some sprouts and then add some vegetables and add some other stuff to it. You don't really need to
right,
you don't, that company grain nonsense is nonsense. It's not really science, Jake. It was just something that somebody proposed in the 70s and it was debunked. So like this whole incomplete like amino acid chains or whatever, it's not true. And nutritionfacts.org, Dr. Neil Greger has all that. So we're gonna go through. That's it. That's good. All right, that's good. So then, thank you. Um, this is a picture of the lids. These are these are the slotted lids. This is a foldable stand that's like my kickstands on the right, right? And then there are more expensive sprouting kind of apparatus, but these are relatively affordable. These little lids and these little wire stands or the kickstands themselves are a better way to do it. Here's that salad spinner. This one has a nice pull cord on it. It's probably better than the one I have because mine you have to crank it. This has pull cord. It's better. But it's a nice salad spinner. And then these are the Soljet trays that are here on the table. Um, uh, these are Nature Jim's Three Bean Sprout Mix, Organo Republic Beet Sprouts, and then Nature Jim's bean sprouts, Nature Jim's radish sprouts, and then I forget who's the broccoli sprouts. Oh, Nature Jim's broccoli sprouts. So Nature Jim's is a reputable source. I do recommend Nature Jim's on Amazon. Some of them no name, inexpensive. Are they, organic? Are they, quality? That kind of stuff. Having a nice tablespoon. That's our good. And then a measuring cup we say the glass one's just a little better because you can fill it up without overfilling it. If you're a daredevil, you could put this over the sink and fill this up and whoa, okay, there it is. Whatever. You'll feel it when it overflows. But anyhow. Okay. So the day 1 to 4 tablespoons, depending on the type of seeds. Screw on the lid, leave the jar upright, and let the suits overnight.
So Gary, does it say on like the back of the package how many tablespoons, since each one's kind of different or not? Is it just kind of you try out a certain amount and see if it works, tailor it the next time?
This guy, Doug Evans, who's like the sprouting guru, which I get a lot of my information from him anyway. So I'd refer you to his website and his app that can really help you with that stuff. But basically for smaller seeds, you're gonna do 2 or 3 tablespoons so it fills the jar better. The big jar. But then the bigger beans, they just won't spread out as much. So you just put a few more of those in. So we went through all the day 2, day 4 stuff. We're gonna skip this part. On the 5th day, you can give them some sunlight. At the end of the 5th day or the beginning of the 6th day, remove the seed sprouts from the jars, put them in the salad spinner, and then okay, paper towels and let them go.
So sunlight to let them dry out?
No, the sunlight is because you're gonna get them wet again anyway. Just you put them in the sunlight so they start to get some color. That's all. The chlorophyll. Just give them a little chlorophyll. That's all. You don't have to, but if you live in Alaska and you've got no sunlight, you can just rock them the way they are. You don't have to have sunlight. All right. And then okay, and I told you about the little parts that grow on the roots that are not mold or fungus. Okay. And then by putting them on the tray, any water that spilled out during our process spilled out on our tray, not out on our tablecloth or our table. Okay. And then buy your seeds and beans from a reputable supplier. Buy seeds that are specifically designed for sprouting. They have different standards than seeds that planted in the yard. If you can, buy organic seeds, and if you can, use filtered water. there might be things in your city water that you don't want growing in your plants, basically. Use software on your phone to read the package so that you can read any instructions that are on the package, right? So you can use your, if you take a picture now and you go to text, your iPhone will read to you everything that's on the package. Some seeds like arugula or chia won't sprout in a jar because they clump up too much. If your seeds develop a bad odor, ask for assistance to make sure the sprouts are okay.
When you ask for visual assistance, if you're talking to Ira and the person you get doesn't know anything about sprouts, you describe,
These are supposed to be kind of fresh and green. Oh no, those look brown and slimy. I wouldn't eat those, that kind of thing. So you don't want brown and slimy, basically. Um, Using a cafeteria tray can help you locate your jars. You can label the different jars. Use a sense of touch. Your sprouts should feel nice to the touch. They shouldn't feel slimy. Make broccoli and lentil sprouts the base of your salad bowl. They're so nutritionally dense. They're amazing. Eat some green and bean sprouts in place of a frozen meal. You can enjoy them fresh or frozen. You can freeze your own sprouts, but when you freeze your own sprouts, only the thing that is in there is your sprouts. When you buy something frozen at the grocery store, you don't know what's in that package, the salt, the sugar, the oil. So, a lot of people who are visually impaired actually end up consuming way too many frozen pre-made meals that aren't good for your health. So if you substitute one or maybe 2 meals a day where you're eating more sprouts and less frozen stuff, your health will just improve dramatically. Thank you so much for all your attention and your kind words and thoughts, Jay. Um, oh, you got bowls. Okay, so we're gonna. All right, so yes, all right, yeah. Let's try. Let's try some. Thank you, Plant Place San Francisco. Thanks for watching till the end. Please like and subscribe, and if there's any videos you'd like, please comment below. Enjoy your sprouts for your health and your family's health.